Kamusta mga kaibigan? Welcome to another episode ng Pinoy Pulse Check. Ako si #WalkWithLan at ngayon we're diving into a topic. Teka lang po ha. Yan. Into a topic. Into a topic na laging mainit sa puso ng bawat Pilipino, lalo na sa mga OFW natin sa United States, Canada, Australia at iba pang sulok ng mundo, ang Iglesia ni Cristo. Pero teka ha, bago ka mag-comment ng Iglesia ni Manalo o cult yan, pakinggan mo muna ito. Today, we're unpacking the real deal behind INC's political influence, ang legacy ni Ka Eduardo Manalo at kung bakit sila laging nasa balita. Lalo na ngayong lalo na ngayong tapos na po ang 2025 elections, no? Imagine this, isang OFW sa Dubai, nagpapakahirap para sa pamilya sa gitna ng homesickness, saan siya lumalapit? Sa INC congregation niya. Pero pagdating sa politika, biglang nagiging kontrobersyal ang suporta ng INC. Bakit? Dahil sa black voting. Pero is it really that simple? O may mas malalim na kwento dito? Let's break it down with facts, humor at konting sariwang perspective. Kung gusto mong malaman ang buong kwento, hit that subscribe button ngayon. I-like at i-share sa mga kababayan natin sa US, UK, Canada, Australia at kahit saan pa. And hey, if you're feeling generous, magpadala ng super thanks para may pagpatuloy natin ang ganitong content. Let's make this video go viral mga ka-Pinoy. Para mas maraming makapanood, we're using let's start with the elephant in the room. INC's black voting. Sabi ng iba, mangmang ka pa rin kahit nagbayad ka sa INC. Talaga lang ha. Pero teka, let's look at the data. Ayon sa 2020 census, INC has around 2.8 million members sa Pilipinas and globally over 7,000 congregations in 165 countries. That's huge. Voting black, 1.5 to 1.8 million votes in national elections. No? Isang araw sa Davao, isang kandidato ang bumisita sa INC Central Office. Sino? Si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte kasama si Senator Bongo. Noong October 2024, ano ang ginawa nila? Nagpasalamat kay Ka Eduardo Manalo sa INC's nation building efforts. Pero let's be real they were also there for the votes. Kung INC ang nag-endorse, parang nanalo ka na sa PBB. Pero seryoso their black voting isn't just blind loyalty. Excuse me po. It's a strategic move rooted in their belief na ang pagkakaisa ay para sa ikabubuti ng lahat. On one hand, critics says INC's black voting undermines democracy kasi parang dictated ang boto. On the other hand, INC argues it's the right to unify for candidates who align with their values like anti-corruption or pro-OFW policies. Sino ang tama? Let's dig down deeper. So ano sa tingin mo Is black voting a strength or a flaw? Drop your thoughts sa comments mga kaibigan sa US, Canada at UAE. Let's talk about the man behind the movement, Ka Eduardo Manalo. Sabi ng mga detractors, Iglesia ni Manalo daw. Parang cult na sinasamba ang pamilya. Pero let's get the facts straight Si Ka Eduardo, the third executive minister, took over in 2009 after his father Eranio under his leadership, INC expanded to 165 countries with congregations in places like Switzerland, Norway, at Japan. Wow, talaga Picture this. Isang OFW sa Hong Kong nalulungkot walang makakausap pero dahil sa INC's Lingap sa Mamamayan program, nakatanggap siya ng aid at spiritual support. Sinong nagbigay ng direksyon? Si Ka Eduardo. His focus on OFWs is why Presidents Duterte and Marcos appointed him as a special envoy for overseas Filipino concerns. Sabi ng iba, Manalo for president. Pero joke lang yon. Ka Eduardo's influence is spiritual, not political. Or is it? Critics argue na masyadong makapangyarihan ang Manalo family, controlling everything from doctrine to votes. Pero supporters say it's their discipline and unity that make INC effective. Without Ka Eduardo's leadership, would INC be this global? Probably not. What's your take on Ka Eduardo's leadership? Hero or overlord? Overlord. Comment below ha, lalo na kayong nasa Italy, Saudi Arabia at Australia. Okay, flashback tayo noong 2015. The INC was all over the news. Bakit? Dahil sa family drama na parang telenovela. Si Angel Manalo, kapatid ni Ka Eduardo, at ang nanay nila si Tenny were expelled from INC. May mga allegation ng corruption, illegal detention, at kahit death threats. Pero wait, was it really that dramatic? Isang gabi sa Quezon City, isang sign ng lumitaw, tulong, hostage kami. Ang sabi ng INC, it was just a misunderstanding. No? Pero ang mga kritiko sabi nila, it's a proof of INC's iron grip. No? The truth may be somewhere in the middle. Kung telenovela ito, the title would be As the Arena Turns. Pero seryoso, the 2015 crisis showed how tight-knit INC is and how they handle internal conflicts privately. On one side, detractors say the expulsion were a power grab by Ka Eduardo. On the other hand, INC insists it was about protecting unity. The Philippine National Police found no evidence of illegal detention, but expelled members like Lowell Menorca got asylum in Canada, citing threats. So who's telling the truth? Was the 2015 crisis overblown? Share your thoughts, mga kababayan sa Japan, Germany at South Korea. Ngayon, let's talk about INC's global impact, lalo na sa mga OFW. Did you know that na INC holds lingap sa mamamayan events in places like Hong Kong, Thailand, and New York? This provide aid, community, and spiritual support to OFWs. No, isang nurse sa Saudi Arabia, pagod na pagod, found solace in an INC congregation through Ka Eduardo's programs. No, she got free medical checkups and emotional support. That's the kind of leadership that resonates sa mga kababayan natin abroad. Sabi ng iba, INC is just buying loyalty. Pero teka, if you're giving free food, medical aid, and hope, isn't that just being a good neighbor? Critics say INC uses aid to control members, but supporters argue it's genuine charity aligned with their doctrine and helping others. With 2.8 million members in the Philippines and millions more abroad, INC's outreach is a lifeline for OFWs. Kung OFW ka, paano nakatulong ang INC sa iyo? Share your story sa comment section. Mga kaibigan sa UAE, UK at Norway. Okay, fast forward tayo to 2025, the midterm elections, no? And INC's black vote will be talagang naging game changer sila, no? Sabi ng politiko, INC backed Marcos in 2022 and look where he is now. Pero will they stick with him or go for someone like Sara Duterte in 2028? No, isang botante sa Cebu, no? INC member told me, kung sinabi ni Ka Eduardo na boto si ganito, no, yung kandidato, yun ang boto ko, no? That's the power of unity. Pero is it blind loyalty or informed choice? Kung INC ang magdedesisyon ng eleksyon, baka maging national holiday and ang black voting. Pero seryoso their influence is undeniable. On one hand, INC's black voting gives them leverage to push pro-OFW policies. On the other hand, critics say it's undemocratic. Either way, with the 2025 election talaga, nung nangyari na yon, marami talagang kandidato. Biruin mo yon. So 8 inendorso, 7 ang nanalo. Sino sa tingin mo ang panalo, no? Talagang comment daw below, no? Lalo na kayong nasa Netherlands, Sweden at France. So anong natutunan natin? INC isn't just a church. It's a global force, a political powerhouse, and a lifeline for millions of Filipinos. Because of that, we salute you, especially our OFWs. Si Ka Eduardo Manalo is not just a leader, he's a visionary who's kept INC united and growing for over a century. Are they perfect? No, pero their impact on Philippine politics and OFW welfare is undeniable. Kung may natutunan ka, i-like at i-share itong video na ito sa mga kaibigan mo sa United States, Canada, Australia, Italy, Hong Kong, UK, UAE at kahit saan pa. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications at mag-comment ng Ka Eduardo for the win. Kung Team INC ka and if you're feeling extra supportive, magpadala naman ng super thanks. Every peso or every dollar helps us keep this content coming. Okay, sa susunod na episode, we will tackle another hot topic. So stay tuned mga kapinoy sa US, UK, Canada at buong mundo. Salamat at God bless you all.